Hello, students. Welcome to the next session of economics. We are doing the chapter globalization and the Indian economy. This is the next chapter of your book, chapter number 4. And in this chapter, we'll try to understand the concepts of globalization and the impact on the Indian economy. So, as we all are aware, कि for completing our needs as a consumer, we need goods and services in our daily life or day-to-day life. So the nowadays, if we'll see the different types of items available in the market, like pen, pencil, camera, mobiles, television, fridge, washing machine. So these are not only manufactured in India, but they are coming to us from the whole of the world. From like every uh, time we are purchasing the commodity, so many times they are not manufactured or made in India. They are coming from outside also, and every season new models of automobiles can be seen on Indian roads. So what you think as in the past, if we'll talk about the automobile sector, there were the cars such as Ambassador and Fiat, but now if you'll see in the market, so there are multiple brands such as Audi, BMW, Porsche, Lamborghini, Rolls-Royce, and Mercedes, and many Volkswagen, Toyota, Honda, many brands are there in the market on the Indian roads. So, what today Indian car producers are doing? They are started producing cars from the name of Maruti and Mahindra and Tata also. And if we'll see whole of the world, or we'll see the even juice brands or televisions, so in past there were very few number of brands were available, but now in the market there is a wide range of choices of goods and services for the buyers or consumers in the market. So it is a matter of years our markets have been transformed. So, what do you think? How do we understand these rapid transformation, and what are the factors that are bringing about these changes, and how are these changes affecting the lives of the people? We shall dwell on these questions in this chapter. We'll discuss what was earlier available in the market and what is now available. How many there were very less number of brands of electronics or juice brand or commodities were available in the market in few decades back, but now there is a huge range of products and brands are available in the recent past. In our last few years, we can see the markets transformed so rapidly. So how these markets transformed so rapidly and what is bringing these all changes in the market is the question to discuss in this chapter. So now you can see here there is a crowded market here, and in the above two pictures there is a man on in a gallery. Woman is like a street vendor sending some selling some items here. So, in this chapter, globalization and Indian economy, the first topic which we are going to discuss is production across countries. So, until the middle of the 20th century, production was largely organized within countries. कि 20th century के बीच तक या मध्य तक कंट्रीज़ के अंदर ही अपने अंदर कंट्री जो प्रोडक्शन करती थी उसे अपने ही कंट्री अंदर करवाती थी. What crossed the boundaries of these countries were raw materials, foodstuff and finished products. अब इन कंट्रीज़ के बाहर क्या जाता था, इंपोर्ट एक्सपोर्ट क्या होता था, वो चीज़ें थी. रॉ मटेरियल इंपोर्ट एक्सपोर्ट होता था, कुछ फूड स्टफ्स थे और कुछ फिनिश प्रोडक्ट्स होते थे जो बाहर से एक्सपोर्ट और इंपोर्ट होते थे. Colonies such as India exported raw materials and food stuff and imported finished goods. अब हम बात करें colonies. Why it is colonies written? Because Britishers ruled over India and made it a colonial. They made their colonies in India and started living and ruling over it, and they were doing the trade. Who? The Britishers. So India, their rule, Britishers rule is known as colonial rule, or their buildings, their that life standard or living style is known as colonies. So colonies such as India exported raw materials and food stuff and imported finished goods from the world. This was the status of trade. Trade was the main channel connecting distant countries. दूर दूर के देशों को कौन कनेक्ट करता था? यही व्यापार या ट्रेड कनेक्ट करता था. This was before large companies called multinational corporations और MNCs emerged on the scene. ये कब की बात है, कब की सिचुएशन थी ये? जब तक मल्टीनेशनल कॉरपोरेशन या MNCs का एडवेंट या इमर्जिंग नहीं हुई थी डिफरेंट कंट्रीज़ के अंदर. अब now we'll discuss about the full form and the definition of MNC. MNC is a company that owns or controls production in more than one nation. Note it down. MNC is a company that owns or controls production in more than one nation. MNCs set up offices and factories for production in regions where they can get cheap labor and other resources. So this is very much clear to us कि MNC is a company that owns or controls production in more than one nation. MNCs set up offices and factories for production in regions where they can get cheap labor and other resources. Okay, so this is done so that the cost of production is low and the MNCs can earn greater profits. So I think you are getting कि MNCs are the multinational corporation, very huge companies which are having the business in more than or doing or controls the production in more than one nation. MNCs set up offices and factories for get cheap labor. Their offices for producing in regions where they can get cheap labor and other resources. So their main motive is to reduce their cost and they can do the production in your country to save cost, and they can also do manufacturing, packaging, production in your country, or they can do production in your country and they can manufacture or they can process it or pack it in some other country. This is also possible. They just try to see where the cost they can reduce. So here is one example which is showing the working of MNC and how they are reducing the costs in their business. Now this example, this case study will show us the spreading of production by an MNC. So a large MNC producing industrial equipment designs its products in research centers in United States and then has the components manufactured in China. These are then shipped to Mexico and Eastern Europe, where the products are assembled and finished products are sold all over the world. So meanwhile, the company's customer care is carried out through call center located in India. So there is only one company who is doing the production of industrial equipment, and his business is distributed or expanded in many countries. Not only the selling part, but the manufacturing part, the research part, the packaging or assembling part, and the call center part, the customer care part. Okay, so this is now I think you are connecting more with the MNCs. एक MNC थी बहुत बड़ी इंडस्ट्रियल इक्विपमेंट बनाने वाली, जिसका रिसर्च सेंटर US में बना था, फर्स्ट पॉइंट. और सेकंड पॉइंट, उसके जो कंपोनेंट्स के मैन्युफैक्चर्ड होते था वो होता था चाइना के अंदर. अब वो मैन्युफैक्चर्ड प्रोडक्ट शिप होकर आते थे मैक्सिको और ईस्टर्न यूरोप में, जहाँ उन्हें असेंबल किया जाता था और फिर वो फिनिश प्रोडक्ट्स पूरे वर्ल्ड में सेल कर दिए जाते थे. और इसी के साथ ही साथ उस कंपनी का जो कस्टमर केयर था वो इंडिया में लोकेट किया गया. अब US की कंपनी रिसर्च US में करती है, सामान को के मैन्युफैक्चर कराती है चाइना से, असेंबल कराती है मैक्सिको और ईस्टर्न यूरोप में, वर्ल्ड में पूरे उसको सेल करती है और उसके कॉल सेंटर इस्टेब्लिश करती है इंडिया के अंदर. ऐसा क्यों कर रही है MNC? सिंपल, टू रिड्यूस कॉस्ट, टू सेव कॉस्ट, दे आर डूइंग सो. Now you can see there is a picture in the book. This is a call center in Bangalore equipped with telecom facilities and access to internet to provide information and support to customers abroad. एक पिक्चर जो है ये एक कॉल सेंटर की पिक्चर है, या जिसे हम बोलते हैं बीपीओ की पिक्चर है. बीपीओ स्टैंड्स फॉर बिजनेस प्रोसेस आउटसोर्सिंग, जहाँ पे बहुत सारे एम्प्लॉयज़ के पास फ़ोन लाइंस हैं और उनके पास सिस्टम है, कंप्यूटर सिस्टम्स है, जिसकी हेल्प से वो अब्रॉड विदेशों के कस्टमर्स को क्वेरी को, उनकी प्रॉब्लम्स को, डिफ़िकल्टीज़ को सॉल्व कर रहे हैं. So what we have seen here, in this example, the MNC is not only selling its finished products globally, but more important, the goods and services are produced globally. सिर्फ वो पूरे वर्ल्ड में सेल नहीं करती है प्रोडक्ट्स को MNC, बल्कि गुड्स और सर्विसेज को पूरे वर्ल्ड में बना भी रही है, ग्लोबली उनको प्रोड्यूस भी करती है. एज अ रिजल्ट प्रोडक्शन इज़ ऑर्गेनाइज इन इंक्रीजिंगली कॉम्प्लेक्स वे, लेकिन बहुत ये कॉम्प्लेक्स है इस प्रोडक्शन को मैनेज करना. द प्रोडक्शन प्रोसेस इज डिवाइडेड इनटू स्मॉल पार्ट्स एंड स्प्रेड आउट अक्रॉस द ग्लोब. अब प्रोडक्शन प्रोसेस अलग अलग पार्ट में हो रहा है, स्मॉल पार्ट्स में हो रहा है और डिवाइड है वर्ल्ड में कई कंट्रीज़ में. इन द अबव एग्जाम्पल, चाइना प्रोवाइड्स द एडवांटेज ऑफ बीइंग अ चीप मैन्युफैक्चरिंग लोकेशन. चाइना से क्या फ़ायदा उठाती है MNC? वहाँ पे सामान का मैन्युफैक्चरिंग चीप रेट पे हो सकता है. Mexico and Eastern Europe are useful for their closeness to the markets in US and Europe. अब ये US और यूरोप के नज़दीक हैं, मैक्सिको और ईस्टर्न यूरोप, जो हेल्प करते हैं उन्हें असेंबलिंग में और तुरंत प्रोडक्ट सेल हो जाता है. इंडिया हैज़ हाईली स्किल्ड इंजीनियर्स हु कैन अंडरस्टैंड द टेक्निकल एस्पेक्ट ऑफ प्रोडक्शन, एंड इट ऑल्सो हैज़ एजुकेटेड इंग्लिश स्पीकिंग यूथ हु कैन प्रोवाइड customer care service, and all the probably can mean 50-60% कॉस्ट सेविंग फॉर द MNC. अब 50 से 60% कॉस्ट वो सेव कर पा रहे, क्योंकि उन्होंने अपने बिजनेस को उन कंट्रीज़ में डिस्ट्रीब्यूट कर दिया है जहाँ पे मैन्युफैक्चरिंग या कस्टमर सर्विस या असेंबलिंग बहुत ही चीप प्राइस पर उन्हें मिलती है. So the advantage of spreading out production across the borders to the multinational can be truly immense. Okay, so it can help the MNCs and they can produce more and more with the more profit margins. So there is a point given, let's work this out. Complete the following statement to show how the production process in the garment industry is spread across countries. Okay, let's see. The brand tag says made in Thailand, but they are not Thai products. We dissect the manufacturing process and look for the best solution at each step. We are doing it globally. In making garments, the company may, or for example, get cotton fiber from Korea. So again, it is an example which is showing that there is a cloth brand.
So in the next session, we'll discuss the interlinking production across the countries, and in homework, you should read again the chapter, whatever topics I have taught today to you, and then we'll continue in the next session about the topic interlinking production across the countries. Okay.